Everyone, the government is issuing new regulations on a potential threat that could be in your backyard.
It all has to deal with the shipment of volatile crude oil. It travels by train, but the government is recognizing some of those trains aren't actually safe. Now, it mostly deals with crude oil that's coming from the Bakken Shale in North Dakota. Yesterday, the Department of Transportation set new regulations. Train companies are now required to have enhanced brake systems, reduce speeds, and also update their equipment. And tonight, our Carrie Beal reports on why these new regulations matter right here in Louisiana. Carrie.
When older train cars are used, it's a combination that has proved destructive and even deadly. This is what the government is trying to prevent. In the past year, at least 9 of these outdated trains carrying crude oil have derailed across the country, causing major explosions. The train cars are known as DOT 111s. Accident investigators have reported that the cars rupture or puncture easily during wrecks, even at slow speeds. But our investigative team found these very trains travel through Acadiana neighborhoods, and what we found is alarming. Just this month, we spotted a fleet of more than 50 train cars lumbering through Iberia Parish. The Burlington Northern Santa Fe trains were labeled as carrying crude oil, most in a car model that is heavily under scrutiny, DOT 111. Nancy Johnson lives across the street from the tracks in New Iberia. She had no idea this crude rolls by her house or even that it's volatile.
This scares me a lot. Have me concerned about what's going to really happen.
In May, the government put out an emergency alert saying train companies must notify emergency responders about shipments of Bakken crude in excess of 1 million gallons, or approximately 35 train cars.
When I last spoke with the state, Louisiana State Police, they said they had not yet gotten any of these alerts.
We saw the trains labeled crude oil along these tracks by Highway 182 in New Iberia. But we don't know if the crude oil in those trains was from the Bakken Shale, Louisiana, or elsewhere, because the train companies are refusing to release that information.
I am pressing because I would love to know, and my fire chiefs would love to know, and my sheriff would love to know how many cars are coming and when are they coming, and we could be even more prepared.
Wilma Subra is a chemist who used to work for the Environmental Protection Agency in Louisiana. She says the oil in those trains are likely coming from North Dakota because oil transported from the Louisiana Gulf is usually transported by pipeline. Regardless of where it comes from, though, Subra says any crude being transported in outdated cars is not safe.
So when one derails and explodes, it takes a number of others right in line with it, and they explode as well.
In Louisiana, over the last 5 years, 7 times more crude has spilled than the previous 33 years combined. That's according to the Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration. These spills, while minor, and more than half were because of defective components or devices. Most accidents happen on DOT 111s, the outdated railroad car.
The train companies haven't looked at what the chemicals were and how they were very explosive before they said, yes, we'll transport that.
But the oil and gas industry stands by its transportation methods.
We've been doing it safely here within the state for decades, and we'll continue to do that.
Don Briggs is the president of the Louisiana Oil and Gas Association. He adds the stalled Keystone Pipeline could be another means of transportation. Emergency officials in other states say they have received emergency alerts about crude oil transportation. For example, public records show in Chicago as many as 27 crude oil trains passed through in just 1 week. But state officials here denied our request for similar records, saying they're confidential. Tomorrow, I dig deeper into how the parish says they plan to deal with such an emergency if it ever happens here. Reporting live in the studio, Carrie Beal, KTC TV3.